let's say the store was burning and I needed to pick 3 movies, then I would definitely pick Kung Fu Hustle is the most perfect film ever made. I thought this was the John Cassavetes movie, and then I was very disappointed. She's a really talented director. I really like her. Did you put the shitty movies over here? We got Chris Pratt. He's an idiot. Oh, it's Comedies US. I see. Wow. Paddington 2 is a classic film. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. Oh my gosh, Brotherhood of the Wolf. This is great. Oh my gosh, this is, wow. Yeah. What you call it? New generation? Yeah. Oh, that's horrible. Why did your country do this to us?
Welcome to GM Video.
Thank you.
This is actually one of the 2 last video stores in Paris.
Wow.
And just before we talk about the film you have chosen, I'd like to ask you, what is your relationship with those kind of places in the US and more globally with the physical edition of films such as DVDs and Blu-rays?
Well, first of all, you know, my childhood was spent, you know, in movie theaters, but also in the video store. So these are the best memories that I have, really, were the promise of seeing a good movie and the hours spent agonizing over what film to choose in a video store was, you know, was fun, or arguing with your friends or your girlfriends or whatever. And I still love my physical media, my Blu-rays and my DVDs, and you have much greater control over the way the picture is viewed. So if you get a Blu-ray of one of my movies, we've looked carefully at the color and everything about the movie, and in streaming you know less what you're going to get.
Yeah, okay. So maybe we can start just behind you, because there is the action section, and I know you like a lot of movies.
I like Asian film, not only Asian action films, but Asian films in general. So, you know, when I you know, started, you know, coming of age, I guess, in my teens, I fell in love, especially initially, with Hong Kong action cinema. They were able to shoot action in a way that wasn't being done in the US, not until after Matrix or anywhere else in the world. And they were able to tell stories that were just crazier. There was no rules, and I loved that. I especially loved a lot of like category 3 you know, Hong Kong films, which were the unrated ones, and they just let anything happen. And so I had sadly a bootleg collection of about 400 or 500 Hong Kong action films. There was a place near me in New York, but it was because I couldn't get them myself. So I did pay money for them. They were expensive. But yeah, I see some of my favorite movies here. I mean, this is Kung Fu Hustle. Crazy Kung Fu here?
Yeah, it's just...
Kung Fu Hustle is, to me, a complete and utter masterpiece. It might be the most perfect film ever made by a filmmaker named Stephen Chow out of Hong Kong. It is slapstick, it's comedy, it's dramatic, it's emotional, it's moving, and really some of the most, you know, lovely action sequences of all time outside of Spider-Verse. It's really fantastic. Then we have Villainess here. Villainess is by my friend, director Jay. And the reason I'm friends with him is because I had to befriend him because I rip him off so much. So he shoots action unlike anybody else. He created a whole new style of shooting action when he made this movie, which was it wasn't that long ago. It was just a few years old. And if you see my movies, it's taking a lot of stuff director Jay does. If you wonder why my action is so much better from The Suicide Squad and Guardians 3 and Superman, it's because of what I learned from director Jay, who's incredible.
And is it true that particularly before each shoot, you show this film to your GPs and camera operators, like for inspiration?
Well, when I got Villainess on DVD, I think I watched it and then I instantly watched it again. And I showed it to Henry Bram, my camera operator, and then we show it to, I mean, my DP and camera operator, and we show it to all our other camera operators. There's a certain thing that director Jay does with the way that he uses a lot of times smaller cameras. We have small camera rigs where we can move close to the camera and then around, and then, you know, constantly circling and moving around. And I really like the way he shoots action. What else? Oh, you got Godzilla -1 is one of my favorite movies from the past couple of years. And that's just very simply because of the mix of really treating these human beings like human beings while taking an iconic character like Godzilla. It was something I actually thought of while I was making Superman, because it's not so dissimilar from that. It's taking this iconic character but really treating all these people with dignity and making the most important story the human story. I think it's a beautiful movie.
And where does your fascination for kaiju come from?
Oh, I just like monsters, you know? I like giant monsters, I like little monsters, I like tiny monsters. I've always liked monsters. I started out loving Universal horror films as a little kid, not because they were horror movies. I don't really care about horror that much. What I like are monsters. So I liked watching Frankenstein. I related to Frankenstein, not to the people he was murdering, I guess.
On your left, maybe I pick Ozu movie, because I think it's a really important director for you.
Yeah. Well, Ozu is an important director because my dog's named after Ozu. Ozu is known for his contemplative, meditative films that are very serene, and my dog is not that. I was hoping perhaps that this name would give him a sense of calmness, but I should have named him Mickey, because that would have been much more appropriate. Oh my God. Honest to God, I forget. That's speaking of which.
今までに映画とかテレビの仕事は
何度かそういうお話はありましたけど、まだやったことはありません。
One of my favorite movies of all time, Audition. You know, McKay has made many movies. Many of them are very different from each other. Many of them are very extreme. And there's a lot of really good ones. But I think Audition's probably my favorite. Old Boy is another South Korean film that I love a lot. Probably the most famous film of these films here. John Woo, of course, you know, that was one of the guys who made me, I think, initially fall in love with Hong Kong cinema, was seeing The Killer and Hard Boiled. Those were some of the first ones. Got so many great directors here. And then I also saw another one of my favorites, Herzog here. There's Rescue Dawn. That's a very underrated movie. If people want to see a good war movie.
The jungle is the prison. Don't you get it? When does the rainy season start?
5 months, maybe 6.
I can't wait that long.
When I was doing The Suicide Squad, I watched every good war movie that I could remember, and Rescue Dawn was one of those that really held up, that I really love. He's made a lot of great movies.
And on your right, you choose also a Swedish film, I think?
Oh, it's great. So this is Together by Lukas Moodysson. Lukas Moodysson is actually one of my favorite directors. He directed this. He directed another movie that's called Fucking a Mile, also known as Show Me Love, which I like just as much. It's about two high school girls who fall in love, basically, in a mall, a place that's not known for, you know, their openness, I guess. And then Together is about this film about a commune, and his sister comes, and it's all kind of post-dogma stuff. It's very grounded, very realistic, very down to earth. Very naturalistic. You know, it's so funny because, you know, you look at these different things that I liked. Is Kung Fu Hustle's so stylized and big, but Together, it's almost like a documentary. I really do love both kinds of those movies, but there is something about that grounded style of cinema that really speaks to me, whether it's, you know, French New Wave or the early British realist films, or all these things that really present life as if it is life itself. And Moodysson's maybe the best at that. Oh, I love Flow. Flow's a beautiful movie. That's a beautiful film. Companion's a movie I really like a lot from last year. It's one of my favorite movies. Well, this Paddington I haven't seen, but Paddington 2 is a classic film. It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Paddington! Oh no! Paddington! No! Oh,
People think that I'm being ironic when I say that. I am not. I am absolutely telling the truth. Okay, well, this is quite possibly my favorite movie of all time, The Long Goodbye.
I really need a ride.
Where do you want me to take it?
Tijuana?
Tijuana? Tijuana now?
No.
A Robert Altman film starring Elliott Gould based on the Chandler novel, but in a very modern way. It's in the 70s. Oh boy, the way Altman shoots this movie is like nothing else. It really is a lot like Moodysson, but so controlled and so beautiful, and yet also very handheld and grounded. And it's just a beautiful movie about an alienated guy. What else do we have here? Many movies I like. I like Bad Taste. I mean, these early Peter Jackson movies were so great. Henry, Portrait of Serial Killer is a movie that made me sick for days upon seeing it for the first time. But it starred an actor by the name of Michael Rooker, who it's been my price to pay for my success is that I have to put this guy in all of my movies. Superbad's a great movie.
Okay, your total is $96.59.
Superbad is by a director who I really love by the name of Greg Mottola, who has done a lot of movies that I like, and I've liked him since I was very young, and he's directing on season 2 of Peacemaker. He's a great guy, and he's the best director we've ever had on Peacemaker. Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. I was talking to my assistant Michael about this today. This is one of my favorite all-time movies. And in fact, there's a, you know, if you look, there's a long interview scene in Superman between the two characters where they're talking for, 12 minutes.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
I don't want to say that it's like the scene in Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice with this long, very funny scene, an argument between Elliott Gould and Diane Cannon that is just a wonderful, wonderful relationship scene.
But I think you'll agree with me that if he hadn't told her, there'd be no problem.
There'd be no problem if he hadn't done it, if he hadn't cheated.
But the whole movie is spectacular and sadly not well remembered today. Not many people. Michael, who's a huge movie fan, has never seen it.
And Bob and Carol is also a film that has been unanimously praised for the quality of its dialogue. So I wanted to ask you, do you find writing dialogues the most difficult part of writing a screenplay?
No, writing dialogue for me is the most fun part of writing a screenplay. The most difficult part for me of writing a screenplay is really the plotting. Making sure that everything comes together. That's the puzzle part of it. The dialogue for me, I don't want to say it's easy, but it kind of naturally flows. If I'm coming from an emotional place with the story, if I'm coming from a true place with that, then it all follows and all works together. This is Pearl.
Why are you leaving me? What did you say? Why did you change?
You're scaring me, Pearl. Okay? I wish you the best luck with your audition.
So this is by a filmmaker by the name of Ty West, a very talented guy who also I happen to be friendly with. And so I actually was watching this movie, which is great. It's a great movie. And I was watching it and I saw a character whose name I think is just the projectionist in the movie. And I'm like, that guy looks like he could possibly be Superman. I looked up his name on IMDb and said, can you bring this guy in? And so they brought David in. There were 2 people I asked to be brought in, maybe more, but one guy I thought was most likely to be Superman, and I asked for him to be brought in. I watched his tape first. That wasn't very good. And then David Corenswet, I watched him, And he was amazing, and I'm like, oh my God, the guy's funny, like, which I didn't imagine from watching. Mia's funny in this movie, but David's not very funny.
Is it true that for the screen test you used like a very old suit of Superman?
We used Henry Cavill, the Henry Cavill suit, and it was like, it looked good because David was very skinny and it has all the muscles in it, and so he looked very good. The size of the person, it stretches out and it goes under the feet, and so it got all ripped up at the ankle, and I was happy that he tried it on after Nicholas Hoult and the other actor who auditioned. Otherwise, they would have had to pay for it. John Carpenter, one of my favorite horror movies of all time, if not my favorite, is The Thing. It's an amazing movie with an amazing practical effects that I love. It's my friend David Yarovesky's movie that I happen to produce.
Take the world.
And my brother and my cousin wrote, called Brightburn, which is about an evil Superman. Well, wait, no, not Superman. Somebody kind of like Superman. I don't want to get sued by myself. What else do we want to talk about here? Jackie Brown?
Miss Brown! Hi, I'm Detective Mark Dargis, LAPD. Can I ask what you have in that bag?
The usual stuff, you know. I'm a flight attendant for Cabo Air.
Jackie Brown is the best Quentin Tarantino film. At least it's my favorite film. I don't know if there are bests of anything, but it's my favorite Quentin Tarantino film. I watch it at least once a year. And really love this movie quite a lot, and it's perfect. I think that's what I like about it. Although Pulp Fiction is just an incredible film, the highs are so high. There's a couple of little bit more weirder parts, but this is like perfect. It's just step by step by step. And speaking of perfect, it's one of the most perfect films of all time. Jaws. I think this movie speaks to me especially because I love the golden age of 70s American cinema. I love that grounded, natural feeling to those movies, to movies like, you know, The Godfather and Thomas Crown Affair, and starting with the Bonnie and Clyde and then going through Jaws, really, which was the crossover between that 70s grounded area film and then the spectacle, which started with Jaws, and it is both, which is why I think it's such an important film. It is both grounded and it's a spectacle film, and then everything got ruined after that. Let's see, I'm seeing all these other little movies. Iron Man, I think that, you know, we were talking today, Peter Safran and I were talking, what's really the best superhero movie? Now, I think it's Into the Spider-Verse is the best superhero movie ever made.
Look, man, you gotta teach me how to do Spider-Man stuff, or I'm not gonna be able to help.
But in terms of live-action superhero movies, it just might be Iron Man.
It's funny that you are like in the place Jon Favreau was like 20 years ago. So how do you feel about the vertiginous task, and what do you think are the key elements in creating a shared and coherent cinematic universe?
Well, it's a lot different. I mean, first of all, you know, they were trying out something at Marvel and didn't know if it was going to work, and if Iron Man came out and worked a little or worked, you know, they didn't really know. I think that was a strength, that they were just trying to make one good movie. That's important. And I think that for us, we're always trying to make one good movie. Or one good show. But I do think it's a little bit different in that, for me, we're creating a universe, but there is no house style. Everything's very different from each other. And one of the reasons why I like DC Comics, you know, so much is because it is another universe. There isn't a, you know, Los Angeles and a New York. There's a Gotham and a Metropolis and an Evergreen and a Star City and a Central City. And so it's like having this wonderful world we're making up, and then we can take any filmmaker can take like any little piece of the story from that thing. And when I say to people that it's more like Star Wars than the MCU, and that's the reason. Not because it's tonally like Star Wars, and not because the projects are going to be as tonally similar as Star Wars. Truth is, it's really like DC Comics, where in the comics, you know, you have, you know, radically different styles, whether you're reading All-Star Superman or The Long Halloween or Frank Miller's Dark Knight or Watchmen. They're all DC characters that are connected, but the style is, you know, according to the various artists that are doing it, writers and artists, and in that case, and in our case, screenwriters and directors. And so that's one of the things we're trying to do, is really give people the freedom to create their own style and have fun in the sandbox. And the only rule is that it needs to be unique, and it needs to be there needs to be a reason for it to exist. It can't just be filling the hole because there's never been a Lobo movie, we're making a Lobo movie. You know, just because we need a sequel, we're making a sequel. And we're just never going to do that. The screenplay always has to be finished first. What else do we got? I thought this was the John Cassavetes movie, and then I was very disappointed.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, go to the other side? Okay, great.
So just behind you, there is a TV series section.
Oh, there's a lot of my friends. So there's, yes, this is Rachel Brosnahan. She starred in The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Joel is my husband of 4 years, and tonight he left. Woo! Thank you very much.
Something people don't know was that I really loved The Marvelous Miss Maisel. And it was at a time when I was going through a rough patch in life, and I've never in my adult life written a fan letter, but I knew Amy Sherman Palladino, and I wrote her a fan letter telling her how much I liked the show, and my life kind of sucked, and I was really happy to have this season of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel to tune into, and I loved Rachel, and Amy, you know, likes that. She keeps that letter in her desk, and she, when she heard that I was considering hiring Rachel Brosnahan for Lois Lane, she wrote me the longest, nicest letter about how I would never, ever regret hiring Rachel Brosnahan, and boy, was she wrong. No, I'm kidding. I love it. Like, she's so right. Rachel is just, she's pro from start to finish. We got Chris Pratt, Parks and Rec. I came into the window last night. He's an idiot. Nathan Fillion in Firefly, he's also a bigger idiot.
No, I'm not.
Millie Alcock in House of the Dragon, who's playing our Supergirl. What else we got? Oh my gosh, this is, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, well, Once Upon a Time in the West. I'm a huge Sergio Leone and Ennio Morricone, the composer, fans. Ennio is that's where I got the idea that, you know, we write the score ahead of time and we play it on set when we film, and that was first done that I know of by Ennio Morricone and Sergio Leone. So when you see those gun battles at the end of this movie, they're all actually moving to the music. Once Upon a Time in the West, I think, is my favorite Sergio Leone movie, but I go back and forth because I really like Good, the Bad. I love For a Few Dollars More. So I think that he's just an amazing filmmaker because he's so stylized, you know, and so I like these things that are really either really stylized or completely just grounded. Another one of my favorite filmmakers is Preston Sturges. Preston Sturges is really, in a lot of ways, America's premier writer-director. He is the guy that wrote and directed many, many films. Fast-paced, fun comedies. This is one about Eddie Bracken, who's a guy who is, you know, not in the war, and he comes home and everyone believes he's in the war, and so he kind of lets them believe that, and it's a really kind of strangely sad and serious movie while also being incredibly funny with really fast-paced, realistic dialogue.
And 5 days to do it in. If you wasn't so big, I'd take a poke at that dumb kiss of
Why
yours.
don't you try it, Mac?
Save it for the jet.
I love lots of movies from this period. You know, I love It Happened One Night and His Girl Friday and all these movies that were, you know, that fast-paced, fun dialogue. But all of Preston's movies were like that. Another thing that he did was he used, you know, a lot of times his leads shifted out from movie to movie, but he had the same band of actors around them in almost every movie, like William Demarest. He uses the same coterie of actors, which is something that I do. I have my, you know, Stevie Blackhearts and Michael Rookers and Nathan Fillions and Michaela Hoovers that are in, you know, so many of my movies. I like being comfortable on set, and part of that is because they're all good actors, and part of that is because I like being happy on set. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a perfect movie.
I'm just happy. I've never felt that before.
It is beautiful, it is magical, and I really, really love everything about this movie. Everyone's seen this movie. This movie is not forgotten. Everyone remembers Eternal Sunshine, but they forget Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice, and they should remember both. And they should also remember Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown actually gets it gets screwed a little bit because people just talk about Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. What is looking at? Did you put the shitty movies over here? Is that the... Oh, it's Comedies US, I see. Wow. Oh, we're pretty terrible. Not this one. The first American Pie is actually a really good teen comedy.
He also told me that when he gets nervous, he sometimes wets his pants. Thank you for your time.
Starring my friend Jason Biggs. Oh my gosh, Brotherhood of the Wolf. This is great. So Brotherhood of the Wolf is a fantastic action film. It must be very famous here, is it? Very famous. Not many people know it in the US. I was walking around the boardwalk in Santa Barbara on a date with my ex, and it was playing in a really crappy old theater there, and I went in and I saw it and was just blown away. Again, it was action at a time when action was just coming into itself, and I really loved it. And one of the greatest things is if we ever do a Green Arrow movie, whoever directs it should watch this movie, because this is the movie that knows how to deal with bow and arrows much, much better than any movie ever, superhero or not.
And Christophe Gans, who directs this movie, worked with Jim Henson Creature Shop for it. And I know you are trying to make a dynamic duo movie using like animated puppet technology.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, the dynamic duo is by a company called Swaybox. Are putting it together, and then it was and Matt Reeves and I are producing that with Peter Safran, and it's this incredible technology that mixes puppetry and animation and CGI in a way when you're watching it, you don't know what you're watching. And the action's incredible. This movie is groundbreaking. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. And I think, again, a sign of what we want to do with DC is just take big swings with new types of technology, new types of storytelling, and try to do the best we can to, you know, people got to go to the movies. And the thing that's happened over the past few years is the movies have become just very much as unrisky as possible. And the truth is, I think if people go to the movies, you have to take some risks. That doesn't mean not using famous IP like Superman or Spider-Man or whatever, but it does mean, you know, taking some risks and taking some big swings about the stuff you're trying to do. Otherwise, people are just going to get bored. And then more importantly than that, even much more importantly, is that they finish the screenplays, because all big movies are going into production these days without having finished the screenplays, and it's horrifying, because that's not how you tell a story. There needs to be a beginning, a middle, the end, and you don't know the beginning of your movie unless you know the ending of the movie. Like, how do you even do that?
We have one last section for you, James, if you want.
Oh, okay, great. I mean, is this what you call it?
Yeah.
New generation?
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. Why did your country do this to us? This is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I think is probably one of the greatest animated films of all time. Definitely up there with the best of Pixar and everything. And also, probably the greatest superhero movie of all time, I think. I just think it's majestic, it's beautiful, it's emotional, and artistic, and it's everything that you want out of a movie. Doesn't matter that it's a superhero movie or not. It's beautiful.
Some people could say that the best movie is actually The Incredibles by Brad Bird, and something that I think you two share, it's your attraction to like reuniting the member of a dysfunctional family in like the Guardians, the Suicide Squad, or even the Justice Gang.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that, well, but aren't we all dysfunctional families? I mean, I think that's the truth of it all is, I think almost all families besides the Kents, he's the only non-dysfunctional family, or Mom, Pa Kent, who really got their stuff together. You know, listen, I think I come from a family with, 6 children in 7 years. We're very, very close, my brothers and sisters and I. But when I was raised, there was just constant chatter going on all the time. Like it was constant talking and laughing and, and I just think that I bring that into movies. You know, we all bring our backgrounds into movies we make. And I think I bring the life that I had with my brothers and my sister to my films. And it just manifests itself in different ways. Hey, we got Scooby-Doo. Boo. That's how I got my start.
Yeah.
Not this. Oh, well, we got the Florida Project. That's, I love his movies.
Why did he say I was going to another family?
He's just going to go live with the family just for a little while.
Sean's movies,
Have you seen Anora?
Annie.
Yeah.
Will you marry me?
Honora's my favorite movie of past. I think I just said this about another movie, about Godzilla -1. But okay, since Godzilla -1, Honora's my favorite. No, I think Honora's my favorite movie of the past. I don't know. I rank things all the time, and it's totally nonsense because I'm constantly changing things. But I love to rank and list stuff, so that's my own issue.
I was wondering if, in any chance, you have seen this one.
I have. And I like it, but I much prefer The Revenge, her first movie, which is also my favorite movie from the past few years. So it was my favorite movie until Godzilla -1 came out, and then Godzilla -1 was my favorite until Honora. Now I'll try to remain consistent. That's canon. Really, do you have The Revenge here? Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, of course.
I love that movie's amazing. It's really messed up. It's
scene, you know.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, it's great. Oh yeah. Oh, it's such a good movie. Yeah, I love that movie.
Because I always wonder if she didn't took some inspiration of Slither concerning the final monster.
From Slither, yeah, there are some Slither-like aspects in the subs. I've talked to her about it. Like, she's a really talented director. I really like her. I like all these Planet of the Apes movies. The new Planet of the Apes movies, most underrated, like, pop films of all.
Ape! Home! Human! Soul!
Especially, well, the first one and then Matt Reeves' 2 movies. That's between Cloverfield and the 2 Planet of the Apes movies that Matt Reeves did. The reasons I like talking to Matt so much and hanging out with Matt is I think it's really important that there are filmmakers that make spectacle films, because that's what people are going to the theaters to see, but that still give a shit and are doing something personal with them. And I think that there are not. I think, Matt Reeves, Greta Gerwig, Ryan Coogler, they're some of the few people that are doing that. And so I really have always respected him for that. I can't stop looking around your store because it's just like, I really just want to go through here.
If you could pick, like, I don't know, 3 films from here, what would it be with you?
3 films that I've seen.
Or not.
The truth is, I don't know about the movies I haven't seen, because if I haven't seen them and I know I want to see them, then I would immediately watch them, which is what I do. But 3, let's say the store was burning and I needed to pick 3 movies, then I would definitely pick Long Goodbye. That one's for sure. That one's coming. Okay. then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna run, and I hope the fires don't get me. And I'm also wondering why I'm running from one side to the other, not grabbing more than one movie with the fires happening. But I would pick this. I would pick Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And then, because I can't think of what to get next, but I also really love it, I'm gonna go over here, and I've got a Sophie's Choice. But if Sophie had triplets instead of 2 kids, between Jaws and Jackie Brown and Bob and Carol, and I'm gonna grab Bob and Carol, I'm gonna go out. Now I'm out. I'll see you guys. I'm taking these with me.
Konbini!